It's live.
Here, I know. If you or your kids always get sick within 2 weeks of school starting, you're not alone. So we're going to talk about real functional strategies to strengthen your immune system and your children's before the colds, flus, and back to school bugs smack you. Right after this. Welcome, everybody. This is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. I'm your host, Scott Paton. Joining us, as usual, health engineer Martin Pytela. Hey, Martin, how are you doing today?
Scott, I'm awesome. I'm doing so well that, you know how you're so far behind that you think you're first?
Yeah.
I'm in that place. I have bitten off more than can be chewed in one bite. And my life is just that. Overflowing with opportunity to impact the world, right? It's how you see it. I'm overwhelmed with stuff, but I'm feeling joyful because I will never be finished with my work, even when I'm on my deathbed.
I really don't know how to respond to that, Martin.
Well, there's no response to it other than you said how I was, and I'm responding truthfully. Life is overwhelming, and I'm happy about it.
Well, I have good news. This episode will not last more than an hour and a half, so you have a deadline that you can look forward to. Something will be finished. That's really a big issue that a lot of people, they either have or they don't have, right? Like there's this group of people who are like, they've got a million things that they want to do, and every one of them is like a full-time job. And then there are people who's, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm just like
bored as hell.
And
bored. How can a person be bored in this world?
I don't know. We have 5,000 TV channels. We have more access to learning than has ever been around in the world. Yeah. We have an amazing world that you cannot possibly explore in one lifetime.
Yep.
We have 8 billion people to be friends with.
Yeah. And then there's dogs, cats, and squirrels to play with. I mean,
that's right. And beaches and mountains to climb. And
yeah.
There
books to read. Books to read. I just finished, well, not quite finished. I'm reading a book again, rereading it. It's Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning.
Yeah, wow.
And in it, he quotes Nietzsche. And Nietzsche is saying, if you have a big enough why, any why or any how or what will be subservient to that.
Right. Yeah.
And that just so made it clear to me. Yeah. Happiness is found in a pursuit of a worthy goal.
Yeah. And I guess, yeah. And if you have a major goal that you want to accomplish, it gets you through the down times because everybody has them, right? Like not happy every day. You don't wake up every day full of vim and vigor. Sometimes you just drag your ass out.
Yep. Yeah. Or your grandchildren that you love so much go to school, come back and bring you a fresh new piece of immune challenge that will set you down in bed for 3 days or 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that whole process. Yeah. Now, we know that the gut is totally irrelevant to our immune system, right?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, couldn't care less. Food has nothing to do with it. That's what the doctor will say. I tell you, it's the interface between the hostile outside that comes through your mouth, through the gut, through the pipe that goes through the middle of you, zigging and zagging and whatever, and ends with your tush where you throw away what you don't need. That is the hostile outside, and it's protected by a mucosal barrier. And right at the edge of the mucosal barrier is a single cell thick, it's like a see-through cellophane, kind of a thinner than that.
So is it thinner than a strand of hair?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thinner than a strand of hair. Is the interface that protects the fragile, sterile, well, not sterile, but fragile inside from the hostile outside. And
we may not call it sterile, but it is definitely fragile. A certain way that if you mix it with air is not going to be very good.
Yeah. And it's protected by this thing called the villi. And the villi are a lot like strands of grass, like this. And they are holding tight together. So if you notice yourself walking on grass, you're not touching the ground.
Right.
But if you wear it enough, if enough people walk down that path, before you know it, it's bare ground. The grass doesn't survive.
Right.
And you're touching dirt. Right. And that's what happens in a gut that becomes leaky. It just gets beat down from this to this. Nothing.
George says hi. Hi, George.
Yay, George. Good to have you. Maintain your inner grass court. Well, anyway, so we had this thing about
reduce that. Like, I mean, you talked about walking. Well, obviously we don't walk on our stomach or there. So What are we doing that is causing that problem?
Well, number one are things that wipe out the microbes. So that is chlorine in water and glyphosate in grains and seeds. Those are the two biggest contributors. The other ones are drugs, pharmaceutical, prescription or over-the-counter, alcohol, and then hostile bugs, right? Like dysentery kind of thing. The travelers, whatever. So if you did a vacation to a tropical country where the terrain is different and you encounter something that flushes your digestive system, you have been made more fragile.
Right. How about processed foods?
Yeah, they don't help because they feed the wrong bugs, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to have a lot of fiber. Prebiotics are important because you want to feed the bugs what they want. And they don't want necessarily refined sugar like alcohol, sugar, or HFCS. What they want is fiber. And that's found in vegetables and fruit. It's not found in meat, and it's not found in refined carbohydrates. Yeah, and then there's the resilience. Iodine is supremely important to maintain the health of the mucosal barrier, and many people don't get enough.
Right. Yeah. Well, many people don't get enough of a lot of things that they really need.
Yeah, like the fiber. Yeah. So anyway, so let's visualize Johnny and Jane. They have had a summer of fun, and they have been touching things. They have been interacting with nature, God willing. They have gone out there, played at the lake, touched or the ocean, seashore, whatever. They've touched all kinds of slimy things. And so they have now, and they've licked their fingers. They have now encountered all kinds of variety of new microbes. And their microbial terrain within has been changing. And we have this thing called exosome. And you cannot tell exosome from a virus. Like, if you try and describe an exosome, it's indistinguishable from how a virologist will describe a virus. And what that is, it's something, a blob of stuff that comes out from within a cell and leaves the cell and goes outside to be released into the environment. And the virologist claims that the virus has a mind of its own and wants to reproduce. A functional somebody like me will say, well, the exosome is an expression of what the cell wants to throw away. And of course, it goes into the environment and it will interact with everyone else. And as you're sampling your environment, you will have to deal with it. Somehow you'll have to process it. And so we're going from the outdoor living of our children to crowding them into small boxes called classrooms, where they will be breathing the same air for hours and where they will be touching each other and whatever, sampling everything. So all the new
touching stuff,
sharing. So all the new stuff that they have built over the summer is going to get interchanged.
And they could have been playing at the playground all summer together.
Yeah.
But because you're in the playground, wide open space, lots of sun, nobody is dealing with it.
No, because sunshine. Because sunshines make you healthier. Fresh air make you healthier. Open spaces make you healthier. Yeah, then you're put in a box.
In addition to the air that they're breathing, I hate to say it, but whatever they stick in their walls or on their walls, and whatever glues they use, those are all coming off, and that gets mixed up into that whole thing as well.
Yeah, the toxicity of the confined spaces. It's in the carpets, it's in the flooring, it's in the benches, it's in the paints, it's everywhere. Yeah.
Right.
And then there's the school Wi-Fi, which is probably stronger than the Wi-Fi in the park.
Right. And the electric wires that aren't.
All that.
All that.
So anyway, so Johnny and Jane will be encountering, call it exosomes or call it virus, I don't care. But they will, what I exhale is the sample of my current inner state of being. And especially when I speak closely, I spit on you. And so it comes in droplets and it comes in aerosols. It's out there. And then if I don't wash my hand properly after I wiped my bum, it's also on my hands. And I'll touch your desk and your face and, children, right?
Yeah. So no wonder they get sick.
Well, so information with one another. And that is going to cause them some trouble.
Okay.
I don't know what happened here, but my thing is reset.
Well, we see you still.
Okay, great. I just don't see what's going on screen. And then what? Okay, so they're passing it back and forth, and they're challenging each other's immune systems that way, right?
Yeah. And then they go home.
Yeah, and then they bring it home, and then they touch mommy, and mommy touches daddy, and
everybody has it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There we go.
So now we know what the problem is, and we're not going to be. We don't live in a society where you don't eat and you don't drink and you don't interact with people. So let's talk about some of the things that we can do to improve our immune support. And let's start with food. What type of produce or foods should we be looking at?
Well, so the number one thing we know is vitamin D3, which is built with sunshine. Right? That's the most important one. So you don't get sick in the summer. You get sick when you go inside the box and stop having sunshine.
Right. And the sun comes up later and goes to bed earlier.
Yeah, that too. So you want to supplement D3 for sure. An adult of your or my size, about 10,000 international units of D3 is a daily limit or minimum, which takes about 15 minutes of sun tanning.
Okay. Yeah. Full body sun tanning or just standing outside?
Swimsuit suntan, 15 minutes.
Okay. What about probiotic-rich foods like yogurt or kefir or fermented?
Yeah, those are awesome. All of that is going to strengthen your inner terrain, right? Great idea. Sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, kefir, yeah, all that.
On the other side of the spectrum, what about things like bone broth?
Well, all right, so that's healthy food, right? But it's not going to particularly strongly support anything microbial.
Okay.
Like, think of it this way: the microbes are eating the food that you put in, and their food are prebiotics, and those are mostly the fibers. Like when you eat a meat diet, most of your microbes actually die down. They go into hibernation. They go to sleep. See, what happens is a lot of people get gut problems from eating plants, certain plants, like somebody's going to be allergic to spinach, somebody else to wheat or whatever, right? Some specific food, and you'll have a reaction to it. Peanuts or bell peppers, take a pick.
Right.
Most people are not allergic to fats and proteins. That's why the carnivore diet is calming people down.
Right, because there's no inflammation that's coming from that.
Yeah, because you're not having any reaction to the plants. Remember, there was Dr. Gundry. He did a lot of talking about the lectins and how plants create these defensive mechanisms that they put within themselves. And so when you ingest it, if you overeat any particular specific food, you will create an irritation within your body because of it.
Right.
And sure enough, we have narrowed our choices, right?
That doesn't help either.
Yeah. Corn, wheat, rice.
Done with it. One, iodine. I have hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. I have read a number of times that supplemental iodine is not great with Hashimoto's.
I have heard that too, and I would go with seaweed is a good thing, and iodorol or Lugol's iodine is consistently problematic. But myself, with my Hashimoto tendency, have taken the nascent iodine, which we do sell, called thyroidine on our website. And I have taken 6 drops of that every day for the last 15 years. And all I know is I have built resilience and I'm better off than before. So I don't know. Yes, it should be watched. Okay, so the reason you would know you have Hashimoto's is if
you need to watch yourself. You need to be careful.
Yeah.
If you see you're having a negative reaction, stop digging the hole.
Yeah, which is what I was getting at. You need to get a full thyroid panel, which will include the reverse T3 and especially the thyroid antibodies. And if you have high thyroid antibodies and it's not going down doing whatever you're doing, you need to change what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to bring up lifestyle habits, and you had talked about washing hands. And I know some people that have antibacterial soap, and every 5 minutes they're washing their hands. So we need to have a little bit of a balance between over cleaning or sterilizing and cleaning.
Scott, I have a confession. I don't wash vegetables before I eat them. I'm of the opinion that my immune system is supposed to be strong enough to handle it.
Right.
So I don't know where you fall down in on that, but I think that there is such a thing as germophobia, which leads to a destruction of our ability to actually be resilient. Like, for example, you mentioned your hands. Your skin has a natural barrier that's essentially oily, and there are actually microbes living on the surface of our hands.
Right.
What we don't want to have on our hands is the E. coli or the salmonella that may be coming in the poop, right? Like that's Like it's supposed to not circulate. Like you're not supposed to be putting poop in your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. And for me, it's kind of like if I've been out and I've been digging in the garden, well, I get the hose and I wash my, rinse off my hands.
Yeah.
I may have a little bit of soap and depending, right?
Yeah.
But to go and get like an antibacterial that's just going to strip everything off of your skin.
Yeah.
Over time, I think that sort of behavior, if you're in a sterile environment and then you go into a non-sterile environment, what happens?
You'll be underdeveloped. You'll be under resilient, right? Like it's the same thing as we talk about exercise, right? If you don't walk, your legs will atrophy.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and George has a good point. He says, I once ate a mango without washing it and got amoebic dysentery.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
No, that's not the trouble, Martin. The trouble is George didn't grow up in the Philippines. If he had grown up in the Philippines, he would have encountered that drug or that bacteria before, and maybe he would have got sick, but maybe he wouldn't have. And I'm in Africa right now, and I was talking to some people, and one of them, we were in a village, and one of them says, there was this white guy here, 6 months ago, and he's looking at our water, where there's a hose and we're all drinking from this hose, right? Yeah. And he says, can I have a drink? And we looked at him and we said, no. We've lived here all our lives. We can drink this water. You drink this water, you'll be 2 weeks in bed throwing up and pooping out. So no, you can't.
It's a good point. Yeah, the same thing from Mexico, right? Like dysentery is usually from amoebas, right? Amoebas are single cell organisms that move with the help of their pods, like amoeba walks because it has these protrusions, but it's a single cell organism. Anyway, go to Mexico, eat local salad, and you're in trouble.
That happened to me, actually. I was quite ill for a couple of days, kind of in the throwing up stuff. And
what we do is we come with a bottle of Bodybiotics.
Yeah.
Right? And Bodybiotics is awesome. Those are sporogenic microbes in their native environment of fulvic and humic acid. They're dormant. They're sitting there in hibernation, waiting for moist and warm environment to spring to life. So if you get yourself an amoebal dysentery, you need to pop something like 6 or 8 of these capsules.
Yeah.
And then a street fight in your gut.
And I had that exact thing happen to me, Martin, in that, and it was, I showed everybody my bottle of Bodybiotics while you were talking. And,
I still see nothing. What if I clicked reload? Do you think it's going to cause trouble?
I think you just have to kind of play it by. Don't do that, or I'll be all by myself.
All right, I'll put up with this nonsense of looking at a piece of black screen.
And I was showing the Bodybiotics, and I got it after you and I had talked about this very thing. And I'm so happy I had it because I had some problem. Oh, what did you do?
I'm playing.
Don't play. You're causing havoc. We have a product we're going to show people, and you're showing them before we get to talk about it. And I want to tell my story too.
I'm so sorry for being a dick.
So anyway, Martin and I are talking. He says, yeah, this is really good for upset, tummy problems and everything. So I got it. And then, 3 weeks later, my stomach is feeling bloated and sore and nauseous. And so every 8 hours, I guess, I'm popping 4 or 5 of these in. And the next day I was fine. And I was like, and so now I make sure that I'm never out of it.
Yeah, this is a traveler's insurance policy for sure, because you will encounter something.
Yeah.
What do you mean bad? I'm a wonderful boy. Come on.
No, you're giving Scott a hard time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
No so let's move off of, you need to get enough sleep. You need to move. You need to get some sun if there's sun. Yeah. You got to watch your screens at night. But let's talk a little bit about some of the supplements that work. Well, actually, we're getting close to the end of our time, so let's jump ahead to for kids, for example. We were talking about probiotics and elderberry syrup. We weren't talking about it, but I am now.
Yeah.
And elderol. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? We can show the screen.
So the elderberry, yeah, we put elderberry into all of our Exula superfoods. Like iridescent for sure has the elderberry in it.
Right.
Sorry, what did you want to mention?
It's the one I wanted to show people was elderol.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, awesome product. So that's for essentially respiratory flu-like thingies that might become an issue.
Okay, and respiratory problems are a big issue these days.
Yeah,
this will all be in the comments if you're looking for
yeah,
it.
there are multiple things that this lovely company called North American Herb and Spice puts out. Like they started out with oregano. They make a product called oregano P73, which is grown in the mountains of eastern Turkey, wild stuff, and that thing is just available in multiple forms: oils, drops, capsules, this and that, whatever. You'll find that all on Life Enthusiast website. Look up oregano. It's antiviral like you wouldn't believe. Antibacterial too.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the next one we wanted to talk about was magnesium, because it just seems like we can't get enough magnesium in our
Yeah, that's the thing that, of course, activates your parasympathetic, that the rest, repair, digest, sleep side of your existence, right? So if you have someone who's having a hard time adjusting, you just rub them down with magnesium, they'll calm down and sleep. Also, it's awesome to give to your kids or yourself, adults, before you engage in strenuous activities. Because, for example, before running, sprinting, soccer, football, whatever you may do, rugby, if you do a rub down with magnesium, you're giving your muscles the ability to relax. And interestingly enough, every movement you make, for every movement, one muscle is shortening, the opposite side has to be lengthening. And so when you do this, when the bicep shortens, the tricep has to lengthen, and vice versa. So you need this sort of thing.
And you wanted to talk about Immunagen.
Immunagen is how I pronounce it, but go for it.
Immunagen, okay.
Yeah, that's a herbal tincture. Every teacher needs to have a bottle of it. Every person who flies in an airplane has to have a bottle of it. Every person who travels on a school bus has to have a bottle of it, because that's what stimulates your immune system in such way that the exchanges of these exosomes don't cause an issue. It
okay.
upregulates your immune system to be on vigilant, be up there, ready to
roll. Would you say it strengthens your immune system?
Yeah, I must, because people who take it don't get sick. Like I had a gal tell me, oh yeah, every December I start getting the flu, or every fall I start getting the flu, and I get it 5 times until springtime. I said, you start using this. She said, first year, never got sick.
Nice.
Another person says, oh yeah, every time I get into an airplane. This one lady told me she was on an airplane to Singapore, which is like a 12-hour flight. And everybody on the airplane coughing, hacking, whatever, right? And they recirculate the air, so you're guaranteed a full exposure of all kinds of awful stuff. and she was taking it. She took it before the flight, during the flight, on landing, and
No worries.
never got sick. She said that would have been a guaranteed disaster if I didn't have this.
Nice. And you wanted to, last one is our superfood Strataflora, which you actually talked a little bit about before. So let's bring that one up.
Yeah, Strataflora is all in one, fix everything between the mouth and the anus, maybe even slightly beyond that. And so it comes with antiparasitics and antivirals, antibacterials, antifungals. It has all of the stuff in it that makes for a functioning digestive and eliminative system. So when that works, your body will be strong, safe, and unassailable.
Nice. So would you give Strataflora to the children?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, and the parents, of course. They need it.
The parents for sure. Yeah, I would give it to children in small dose. We start people off with a 1/4 teaspoon, which is a tiny amount. And we let that settle in. And some people take a high dose. I remember one lady taking 5 teaspoons.
Wow.
That's a huge dose to me, but she says, first time in 20 years, I'm having a successful and satisfactory elimination. I'm happy.
Yeah, keep taking the 5.
Well, she didn't have to. What's interesting is the Strataflora is a builder. You take territory away from the bad guys. And so at some point, you actually become independent of it. So you don't have to take it forever.
Right.
So I have a bottle of Strataflora in my freezer that's probably 3 years old, and it's still half full. I only use it now and then when something goes off the rails, like I come home from travel or I've gone out for dinner and things are not sitting well. I'll just take a shot of Strataflora then.
Okay. So Done With It has a follow-up question. She says, with hashish, I see it as having an overactive immune response. Is Immunagen appropriate for me? Overactive immune.
Yeah. How would I tame it? I don't know. I don't think that would be.
You don't think it would be appropriate for her?
Yeah, I don't. I would go with trying to fix the gut.
So Strataflora.
And possibly the body biotics as a reset. And I would actually try feeding the biome with our Biome Magic. I'll share the link. Biome Magic is the thing that you want to have in your gut all the time because it helps the body, helps the gut, helps the microbes build a better terrain.
Okay. I'm putting that in the comments, so hopefully everyone can get it. And I'll bring it up so we can take a look at it quickly before we finish.
Yeah.
Biome Magic.
Yeah. Biome Magic. It's
Biome, not Biome.
Biome. Oh, yeah. Biome. I don't know. Well, this is microbiome. It's what it's about.
So you balance the gut flora, you support your gut health, enhance your digestion, boost your immune system.
Yeah. What I'm looking for is trying to come up with a way to modulate, to normalize, to create this adaptive layer, right? The immune system that's in an overdrive. There's another whole bunch of knowledge worth knowing about, which is called Th1 and Th2. That's the T helper cell and T number 1 and number 2. The 1 is supporting the innate immune system, and 2 is supporting the acquired immune system. Functions, right? And they are in your childhood. The innate is the only thing you have, and as you go, the acquired is getting stronger and more intelligent. And the modern technology has decided that we need to improve on it by giving shots that are challenging the acquired system to produce antibodies for stuff, so that the acquired starts taking over earlier in your life. So instead of creating a natural resilience to chickenpox, you just take a shot and you will not get the full-blown chickenpox. Anyway, there are different people with different dominances. Some people have problems with the Th1 being too active, and some people with the Th2 being too active, too dominant. And there are foods that will help to balance that. And I would encourage you to go look up Th1 and Th2 stimulating foods. And you will see a list of illnesses that are associated with Th1 and illnesses that are associated with Th2. And it's a long list of things.
This would be a good time to let everybody know that Martin gives a free 15-minute consultation. It's not a high pressure sales tactic. I hope you realize we are sincere in wanting to improve the lives of everybody on the planet. And if you go to www.life-enthusiast.com/appointment, you can get on his calendar and talk to him about your specific issues, which I think would be a very wise thing to do.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get down to what you need to know rather than the general spray fire hose that we're applying here.
Someone else has a question, Martin, and that is, what if my child won't eat veggies?
Ha! That poor little schmuck. Well, even if the child does eat the veggies, most of the veggies are grown commercially on depleted soils. So, yes, the veggies are great, especially because they have fiber in them, but they are nutritionally deficient anyway. I expect that everybody should really be on a superfood supplement. This time, this is a commercial. We make supplements, we make them well, and they are required because the industrial agriculture as we have it now is incapable of producing food that's adequate for what we need.
Right.
Yeah.
Martin says, thank you, Scott and Martin, for another great show. Thank you for joining us, George. We appreciate seeing you every week. It makes our time here really good.
Yeah, actually, I just think, I think George is just such a bright light on the planet.
He is. All right. So that wraps up for today, everybody. Thank you so much. Just remember, your immune system is trainable. You can impact it. And next week, we're going to be talking about a post-summer detox and inflammation reset, how to heal your body after travel, sun, and summer stress, because we're coming to the end of the summer and the beginning of the fall. Or in my case, South Africa, I'm coming to the end of the winter and the beginning of the spring. Yeah. The days are getting longer.
Yeah, with every season's change, which would be both spring and fall, get rid of parasites, detox. Yeah, do a parasite cleanse and do a liver fix. Yep.
I'm going to make a note of that, and we're going to do a show on parasites.
Yeah,
because that's important. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Really appreciate you. I almost said George. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. Martin, take time out of your busy. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day too, and sharing your knowledge. It's been really awesome. So we'll see you next week, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Hey! Hey!